Hello. Hello, everyone. We are here. Our live has started. I am just double checking using my own phone to see if everything is working well. Yes, we are live. So I don't have to worry that we will be having the problem we had last time with audio and things not going as well. It is the first time that I use a new software and I am linking to Facebook. So it's quite exciting because it's a different technology that will probably help me a lot with knowing that things are going as they should be going. So let me know if you, as you're watching this, if you have any comments about how things are looking and how you're hearing me on your side. So today, I know a lot of you are following me on LinkedIn. That's somewhere I'm very active, as well as Facebook, and also the emails that I'm sending out. And I know it might sound like I'm all over the map with the content. I'm producing now a series of qualitative research during the pandemic. And I have already posted 2 blog posts, and there will be a lot of content related to that. However, for today, I didn't really want to explore anything related to the pandemic, and I am sort of like piggybacking on something else that I did for my consulting, for my one on one work with students. I currently have a client that is working on writing her manuscript. So her data analysis is done and she is writing her manuscript for publication, which will also be one of her thesis chapter. So I decided to actually talk about that because I have seen her, let's say, make a few mistakes that I have seen other people make in the past, and something that I learned by having a really great mentor. So I wanted to share those things with you. I find that for many people, when they're doing qualitative research and you're finishing that big step of analyzing your data, it feels like such a big relief. Like it's incredible to be done with analyzing transcripts or videos or pictures. But then you have codes or themes or categories in a document, and all of a sudden you need to put those into paragraphs and write them for a report, a publication, or a thesis chapter. And you have that question of how do I make this leap? How do I make that happen? And that is exactly what I want to talk to you about today. So when I started supporting this student, I gave her a few strategies that I have used in the past or that I had seen other people use successfully. And the first one is really, I would say, the simplest one, and it is one about just opening a Word document or a notes document and writing bullet points. So if you have your categories are finalized, you are done your analysis, and you need to move to the next step, you would basically try to elaborate and write what each category means and a description or the interpretation. It depends on your method, of course. And I would use that document with paragraphs or bullet points that you wrote to be the skeleton or the starting point for when you are writing a chapter or a publication. Now, there is another strategy, and to be sincere, I've used the second one more often, maybe because of my style, and I think I am a very visual person. I love designing diagrams that illustrate my results. I think it's also an important part of it because of how they look nice when we are investing in knowledge translation. So I have actually, I'm going to share my screen with you. I put together a few slides that have here. So you're seeing now my screen, and I will be showing you, show PowerPoint. Okay, so this is what I put together for you. So here we have just a few slides. It's not very complicated. This is my second strategy, and it's one that I really like as well. And that is building a model or a diagram that summarizes your results in order to make it easy for you to go from categories or themes that you have to writing full paragraphs. So here, these are results from one of my PhD studies where I had women contrasting back home and here, and how the social support, natural environment, and built environment had implications and shaped their opportunities to eat healthy, be physically active, and emotionally well. When I wrote my manuscript, I really made sure that this boxes, the ones in pink, were important subheadings, and I made sure that I explained how it had implications on the health of women. And because this circle that you see, what helps here, was also very important, I included that in the description of my results. But I wanted to also share with you that before I had that diagram, for many, many conferences, I had this presentation where I showed my results, and really it was an animation. It's not a fancy video. It was only showing how the culture, the environment were conducive to women feeling healthy, and most importantly, their we culture made sure that women were feeling like they were treated as queens, and how that shape their perception and experiences of health back home versus when they moved to a peaceful country but where they didn't have as many supports. Why I'm showing this? I am just showing you how you can be creative. So let's say you haven't written any paragraph, but you have presented your research in a poster format, or in maybe just like I did with an oral presentation. Use that as your guiding point. Nowadays, we have so many tools. And when I say tools, we have voice memos in our phones. There are services such as speak.ai, that's a Canadian company, or searchy.io that provide transcriptions for a very low cost. So if you're talking to yourself or you're recording something with your phone and you're just describing what you did here, you might use that, get that transcribed, and use that as your starting point for your results section. So those are just things that I wanted to show with, with you. As you see here, many things popped there. And this was another example for another publication, another study that I had. And it shows perceptions and experiences and what shaped those. And this really reflects what ended up in my publication in the results section. So I find it useful to do something like this between finishing my data analysis and having categories and codes, and moving to the next step, which is writing that out in a manuscript. So these results are published. You can see there. They are available if you can download them. And this to emphasize that besides everything that they were facing, they were also living in rural areas where those adversities were intensified. And that is captured in my manuscript. And I think it really helps to have something like this before jumping to the writing phase. So very basic. I don't have anything else in this presentation to share with you. I wanted to just make sure that you saw that, and I hope it helps you in some shape or form. The other point that I want to make, and I think it's actually the one that made me want to do this live, is about not making your results all about quotes. If you know me, if you see, if you have seen me presented, you know that I love my quotes. I love including participants' quotes because I think they bring so much to qualitative research. It's your participant's voice, it illustrates what you're saying, it's illustrating your description or interpretation. Let's make that clear depending on the method that you're using. My data analysis has been very descriptive to this point in the studies that I have done. So whenever I describe something, I really carefully choose the quotes that I am presenting, so I emphasize and I drive that message home and I show this is something my participants were saying. However, I have seen many students, and this is what I'm seeing with the student that I am working now, too many quotes. See why that becomes a problem? Because you're leaving up to your quotes to describe your results. And that's actually not fair because there is a lot of writing, there is a lot of power in writing. I have a blog post about this. And I really think if you only put the quotes out of context, even if they are illustrating a category, you're leaving out an important piece. And that is contextualizing and showing how they fit within your results, within your study, how they are connected between themselves, or how there is a thing that weaves through your categories and your codes or subcategories. And that is the main reason why I say be very careful in choosing your quotes wisely, and really I encourage you to really utilize them, to really put them forward in the best way you can. However, I caution you to be very critical of how you are doing that. Don't leave quotes as if they are enough to describe your results. Make sure you have your voice describing the results or interpreting the results, and then showcasing the quotes that your participants said. I think those were the things that I wanted to bring forward today. I hope they help you. I hope that these little things that I am sharing with you here can really be extra help and extra ideas as you're moving along with your projects. I hope everyone is healthy and well. I am really having fun doing this, but at the same time, I have two little ones upstairs, and keeping them quiet during these videos have been really interesting because um, they are often not very happy in one room of the house for very long. But I am trying to keep the videos short for many reasons, and to be very sincere, that's one of them. But I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this. If you have any comments, any questions, please feel free to post below and ask any questions you might have. There is a lot to be discussed about the quotes in itself, how you introduce them, how you might wanna, do I ever edit them? Like if my participants use a lot of slang, there is so much more to discuss about pieces of what I just described and shared with you in terms of strategies. So if you really have a question that relates to this video, please let me know, post in the comments, and I'll make sure that that gets scheduled for future qualitative Wednesdays. And have a good day and rest of the week. I hope everyone does stay healthy and just take care of yourself and your loved ones. See you guys. Thank you.